Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. For this one, I'm doing things a little bit differently. If you're subscribed to the channel, which I highly recommend, as very few people who watch my videos appear to be subscribed, I've been playing through Pokémon Emerald for the Game Boy Advance. However, I decided to summarize the majority of my playthrough into a single video, rather than showing you all the footage like I would normally do. I'll mostly be summarizing all the major battles, plus anything interesting that may happen along the way. This allows me to play through the game faster, while also providing a nice wrap-up to the series. I mostly chose this method so I could begin and hopefully finish a playthrough of Pokémon Platinum prior to the release of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I'm not sure how much time this will save me, since it took me almost a week to finish playing Emerald, and now I'm having to write a script and cut down all the footage, which takes extra time. But either way, it's been a neat departure from how I normally produce videos. So, without further ado, I hope you enjoy this thrilling conclusion to my playthrough of Pokémon Emerald. Let's go. Last time, we made all the way to Rustdrift Tunnel after defeating Roxanne and gaining our first gym badge. Next, after defeating a Team Aqua Grunt and saving Pico, we head back through Rustboro City and run into our rival, who challenges us to a battle. First, he sends out Slugma. After switching to Winona, she gets taken out after Water Gun wasn't able to finish the job. However, Hoenn quickly wraps things up with a scratch attack. He then sends out Mudkip, but we switch into Dottie, who is able to finish it with a barrage of bullet seeds. Once that's finished, we head back to the dock where we take Mr. Briny up on his offer to give us a boat ride. We then set sail for Doofer Town and our next gym battle. After exploring the town, we find an Aaron in Granite Cave. I decided to name it Aaron because that's hilarious. We also find and catch a Sableye, which I named Shadow, since I've never really used one on a team before, and it will come in handy when taking on the fighting types in the Dewford City Gym. Now that we have some new team members, we head over to the gym and challenge Brawly to a gym battle. First, he sends out Machop, but it goes down pretty quickly to Eos's confusion. Next up is Meditite. We try to save Eos by healing up with a potion. Meditite's Focus Punch was too powerful and Eos goes down. However, we send out our newly caught Sableye, who's able to easily KO Meditite, since it doesn't have any attacks which can hit a ghost type. Lastly, he sends out Makuhita, who just like Meditite doesn't seem to have a single move capable of hitting a ghost type. So after a bunch of Nightshades, it too falls before Shadow. And with that victory, we have earned the Knuckle Badge. As we progress towards our next gym badge, we ran into our rival who once again challenges us to a battle. He first sends out Lombre. Unfortunately, both Hoenn and Eos weren't quite up to the task, but after sending in Shadow, we were able to finally finish it off. Next up is Marshtop. Shadow put up a good fight but couldn't stand up to this newly evolved Pokemon. Aaron, Hoenn, and Teriyaki each fell one by one to Marshtop's impressive power. This fight is tough, but with a few more levels, I know we can do it. During our grind, Teriyaki evolved into Combuskin, and with that, combined with the extra training some of our other Pokemon have received, I think we're ready to rematch our rival. Once again, he starts with Lombre, but this time we lead with Teriyaki, who's able to take it down without much issue. Next up is Marshtop. We swap into Hoenn, who puts it to sleep and deals a little damage, but still goes down to a powerful water gun. Shadow tries to avenge his fallen comrade, but ends up going down himself. Eos has an equally tough time, however, Winona is able to finally bring down Marshtop with a wind attack. Lastly, he sends out his one remaining Pokemon, a Slugma, which is great news for us because Winona is able to finish it off with only a couple water guns. On our way to our next gym badge, Evo evolves into Kirlia, which is sure to help us in the coming battles. Watson starts by sending out Voltorb. Aaron is able to get a rollout going and KOs it without much issue. Next up is Electrike, but it's faster than us, so Aaron goes down to a Shockwave before it's able to continue rollout. We send out Hoenn, who can now attack every turn since it's evolved into a Vigoroth, and use Yawn to put Electrike to sleep. Hoenn gets paralyzed, but still comes out victorious after a few decent attacks. Watson then sends out Magneton, so we counter with Teriyaki, since fire is super effective against steel. However, Teriyaki gets confused and is defeated by a barrage of shockwaves. Shadow is able to lower Magneton's defense a little, but also feigns to a combination of confusion and shockwave. We then send out Hoenn once again to see if it fares any better. He puts Magneton to sleep, then begins lowering its HP little by little. Watson heals Magneton, then eventually takes out Hoenn with a critical hit shockwave. It's time to see how our newly evolved Kirlia handles things. After a few calm minds, Eos was able to stand up to Magneton's shockwaves. We were then able to use Confusion and eventually finish off Magneton once and for all. Last up is Monetric. It hits hard with quick attacks since Calm Mind only raised our special defense. But after constantly healing to keep our HP up, Eos finally defeats Monetric and earns us the Dynamo Badge. Next up is a battle with Maxie. He starts with Mightyena, and after going through several Pokemon, we switch to Teriyaki, who takes him out with a double kick. He follows up with Camerupt, and Teriyaki is taken out quickly. We switched into Hoenn, who is able to put him to sleep and almost gets the KO. But Camerupt wakes up. However, we send out Aaron, who is able to finish the job. Lastly, he sends out Zubat, so we switch to Eos, who is able to weaken it quite a bit, but then Aaron is able to once again deliver the final blow. And with that, we've defeated Maxie. On the way to the next gym, Winona evolves into Pelipper, which is sure to come in handy as we take on the Fire-type gym leader Flannery. Flannery starts with Numel, and we send in Winona to see if its newfound power can get us the win. As expected, Numel goes down in one hit from our water gun. Next, she sends out Slugma, but it also goes down pretty easily, but not before setting up a Sunny Day, which weakens our water-type moves. Camerupt is next, and it survives a few water guns, mostly because of Sunny Day. Flannery also uses a Hyper Potion to prolong the match. However, Camerupt is fighting an uphill battle and is defeated after a few more water guns. Last is Torkoal, and unfortunately, water gun just isn't enough to get us the win, so Winona finally falls in battle. So, we have to send Eos, who also isn't up to the task, and neither is Aaron. Hoenn is able to finally finish it off and get us the Heat Badge. Now that we have 4 badges, we're finally able to take on our dad, Norman. He starts by saying out Spinda, and we lead with Eos. Luckily, Eos' ability copies Spinda's ability Own Tempo, which protects us from being confused by Spinda's Teeter Dance. We power up Eos using Calm Mind, then attempt to fuse Flash to lower its accuracy. Unfortunately, Facade does too much damage, and we're taken out before delivering a single blow. Next, we send in Hoenn, and try to weaken Spinda as much as possible after putting it to sleep. We almost have it, but Norman uses the Hyper Potion, and eventually Hoenn goes down. It's Aaron's turn, and we finally finish off Spinda with Takedown. However, next Norman sends out the Pokemon I've been most worried about, Slaking. Luckily, Slaking can only attack every other turn, so if we take advantage of that, we may stand a chance. We attempt to raise Aaron's defensive power with Iron Defense, and then we go on the offensive. By using Dig, we try to slowly chip away at its HP, but it just doesn't hit hard enough. We attempt to switch into Teriyaki, but get OHKO'd by Facade. However, Winona stands a good chance. If we use Protect on the turns where Slaking can attack, and hit it on turns when it isn't able to attack, we can slowly chip away at its health, and never have to take a single point of damage. Eventually, this strategy works, and Winona is able to defeat Slaking. However, Norman still has 2 Pokemon left. The first one is Vigoroth, and unfortunately, it doesn't have the same handicap as Slaking, so it may actually be the harder one to take down. We stick with Winona and begin hammering away at Vigoroth. Luckily, Winona is rather bulky, so Slash and Facade don't do a ton of damage to us. And after quite a few attacks, Vigoroth is finally defeated. Last, Norman sends out Lanoon, and Winona isn't finished yet. She continues to attack in an attempt to whittle down its HP. Eventually, Winona is able to defeat Lanoon, getting us the Balance Badge. That battle took a while, but Winona was most certainly the MVP, and without her, we probably wouldn't have won. On our way to Fortree City, we run into our rival once again. He leads with Lombre, but Eos, who now knows Psychic, is able to easily deal with it. Next, he sends out Slugma, but we switch to Aaron to hopefully hit it for some good damage, while avoiding taking too much damage ourselves. Dig hits hard, and a final takedown finishes the job. Last is Marshtop, and we decide to keep Aaron in. We hit it with Dig, but that doesn't do too much damage, probably because of Marshtop's typing, and Aaron unfortunately goes down. Back up is Eos, but it's too weak to survive a takedown. However, Shadow is able to keep hitting him with Secret Power, and eventually gets a crit, which wins us the match. While grinding for our next gym battle, Eos evolves into Gardevoir, which I'm sure will help us immensely in the coming battles. Winona leads with Swablu, so we send in Hoenn to try and put it to sleep. However, it enacts an impressive strategy by using Perish Song and swapping it out into Tropius. And we have no choice but to switch before the Perish Song counts down. Teriyak's turn, and while it has a partial type advantage, it is also weak against flying moves, and gets taken out by a critical hit aerial ace. We then try to send in Aaron, since it resists flying moves, but none of its attacks deal much damage, and it has a hard time staying up to Tropius' Solar Beam, especially with Sunny Day in effect. After a lot of back and forth, we try to send back in our now revived Teriyaki, and are able to deal a decent amount of damage with Ember, eventually knocking Tropius out. Skarmory is up next, and Teriyaki once again feints to a couple powerful aerial aces. Next, we send in Shadow, but we just don't have any moves which can deal enough damage. Eventually, he gets taken out. It's time for Winona versus Winona, as we send out our Pelipper, who now knows Surf, and we're able to take out Skarmory without much issue. Swablu is back up, but it's already taken damage, so it isn't able to survive a single Surf. Now, it's time for a mirror match, and our Pelipper does decent damage with Wind Attack, so we just keep hammering away until her Pelipper is defeated. Last, she sends out Altaria. It doesn't go down easy, and towards the end it starts powering up with Dragon Dance, which was kinda scary. But after a slew of Surfs and a few Hyper Potions, we're able to take it down for the victory. And with that, Winona has been defeated, and the Feather Badge is ours. Our next rival fight goes pretty smoothly. He's upgraded his team a little, but it's nothing we can't handle. First, he sends out Tropius, and we swap into Teriyaki to take it out with our newly learned move Overheat, which OHKOs. He then sends in Marshtop, who we swap to Winona, who should have an easier time taking it down. We just keep using Fly, which has replaced Wind Attack, and are able to beat it without much difficulty. Next is Slugma, so we just keep in Winona so we can use Surf to take it down. Last is Ludicolo, so we swap into Khan, who now knows Slash, and are able to defeat it with just a few attacks, getting us the victory. Aaron also finally evolved into Leiron, which will add a little extra power to our team. Before taking on the next gym, we have to deal with some Team Magma shenanigans, which culminates in a battle with Maxie. First, he sends out Mightyena, which is too much for Shadow, so we swap into Eos, which we recently taught Shockwave to, and it's a bit of a struggle, but eventually Mightyena goes down. Next is Crobat, which either Shockwave or Psychic would work well against, but Eos is too weak and goes down to an Air Cutter. Our team keeps falling one by one to Crobat, but eventually we're able to use Winona to take it out. Lastly, he sends out Camerupt, which is weak to Surf, so Winona takes it down without breaking a sweat. And with that, Maxie is defeated and runs off to chase Groudon. Next, we arrive at the Moss Deep City Gym and attempt to get our next gym badge from Tate and Liza. This time it's a double battle, and our first attempt goes rather poorly, and we appear to be no match for their superior power. They take out our Pokemon one by one with relative ease. I think we're going to need some more training before we can try for a rematch. After some grinding, we return and this time we fare much better. Tate and Liza start by sending out Claydol and Zatu, and we respond with Eos and Winona. This time we use a big brain strategy and have Eos trace Claydol's Levitate. Now we're completely immune to Claydol's Earthquake, which really gives us the upper hand. A combination of Shockwave and Surf is our best bet to do decent damage. However, they throw up Sunny Day and Light Screen, which really weakens both of our attacks. But after a few more hits, Zatu finally goes down, and they send out Solrock, which, due to Sunny Day, is able to fire Solar Beam without charging it first. We begin powering up Eos with Calm Mind in an attempt to compensate for their Light Screen, but unfortunately Winona goes down to a combination of Psychic and Solar Beam, so we send out Shadow since it's the only other Pokemon we gave a bunch of extra training to. Eos is still able to dodge Earthquake using Levitate, but every other Pokemon I send out gets hit hard. We continue powering up Eos with Calm Mind, hoping to get strong enough to take everyone on, since most of our other Pokemon are too weak to offer much of a contribution to the battle. Sure enough, it ends in a 1-on-3 situation, with Eos now having to take out the 3 remaining Pokemon on their team. However, after all the times we've used Calm Mind, Eos is more than up to the challenge. We use Psychic, which finishes off Claydol in a single hit. They then send out Lunatone as Solrock tries to hit us with Solar Beam, but at this point, we barely take any damage from special type moves. Eos then hits Solrock with Psychic, almost taking it out. It restores itself with a berry, but we're able to finally finish it off with another Psychic. That just leaves Lunatone. It recently put up another Light Screen, so Psychic isn't very effective. It then begins using Calm Mind, trying to steal our strategy, so we respond with more Calm Minds of our own. We then attempt one final Psychic, and get a critical hit, finally defeating Lunatone, earning us the Mind Badge. Now, before we're allowed to get the last badge, we must first deal with all the Team Magma and Team Aqua nonsense going on. And let's just say that Kyogre and Groudon are pissed, so we have to go and find Rayquaza to calm them down. While on the way to take care of it, Teriyaki evolves into Blaziken, which is a welcome addition to the team. We have to battle Max in a double battle format first. They don't provide us with too difficult of a challenge, so I'm just going to show the battle really quick here. As I'm writing the script, we're about a week away from the release of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Comment below if you're excited for the games. I know I am. They look like a fun way to revisit the Sinnoh region, and I can't wait. I know they may still be missing some of the features we would have really liked, but I'm still looking forward to them. I'm trying to wrap up my playthrough of Emerald, so I can try to get a full playthrough of Pokemon Platinum up before the game's release. I thought that would be a fun way to compare Platinum version with what the remakes are like, and what they may or may not have included from Platinum, since they seem to be more faithful remakes of Diamond and Pearl. Well, looks like we've defeated Maxie. Let's move on to the Archie Fight. He only has 3 Pokemon, so this won't take long. Also, regarding the release of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I hope to also do a playthrough of those games when they release, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss those videos when they go up. If you could also like this video, that would really help me out. And there we go, Archie has also been defeated. We then go and find Rayquaza and save the world. Let's just skip past that and go on to the final gym. This is sure to be a tough battle, but Eos should be able to handle it. His first Pokemon is just a Love Disc, so we use this opportunity to power up a bunch with Calm Mind. Once our special attack and special defense are adequately supercharged, we are able to sweep through his team using Shockwave and Psychic. Huh. Guess that wasn't too difficult after all. Eos was most certainly the MVP of that fight. After that, we take a little detour to go catch Rayquaza. Then it's off to Victory Road and the Elite Four. In Victory Road, we have one final battle with Wally. He's gotten much stronger since last time we saw him, but we still take him out without much difficulty. Eos tears through his team using the same Calm Mind strategy from our last gym battle. I think Eos is going to be the key to taking out a lot of the Elite Four, including the champion, since his special attack has no equal after using Calm Mind to its fullest. We finally made it to the Elite Four. Just a heads up, some of these battles took multiple tries, but I'm just going to show and summarize the attempt when I was victorious. Otherwise this video would take way too long to finish. First is Sydney. He leads with Mightyena, so we start with Con, who was able to get off a yawn before we switched to Aaron. Earthquake does decent damage, and we also try to bolster our defense with Iron Defense. However, we switch to Shadow to try and confuse Mightyena and finish him off. But Shadow Ball doesn't do enough damage and we lose the Crunch. We send out Eos and are able to withstand his Crunch and finish it with Shockwave. Next up is Shiftry, so we switch to Teriyaki, who should have a better chance of winning. We try to power up our attack and defense, while Shiftry raises its evasiveness. Luckily we have Aerial Ace, which is a physical move and can't miss, so we easily OHKO Shiftry. He sends out Absol, but Teriyaki easily finishes it with Double Kick. Crawdon comes out and falls in battle just like Absol. Last is Cacturne, and Teriyaki is able to once again OHKO with Double Kick, taking down the first member of the Elite Four. Next up we're facing off against Phoebe, who starts off with Dusclops as we lead with Eos. As it tries to use Protect, we take the time to power up with Calm Mind, and are then able to get a one-hit KO with Psychic. But that also goes down in a single hit, so does her next Banette. Her Dusclops survives one Psychic and almost takes us out, but we survive and are able to finish it with another Psychic. Last is Sableye, but unfortunately it's part dark, so Psychic won't work here. However, Shockwave also packs a punch, and we get it down to half health before Eos is finally knocked out. We send in our Sableye to try and confuse hers, but it gets taken down as well. Next, we try Winona, who is able to hit with Surf and win the battle. Now, on to Glacia. She leads with Celio, and we start with Eos. We begin powering up with Calm Mind, while at the same time trying to keep our own health up with healing items. Unfortunately, we keep getting paralyzed, but luckily we have a few full restores. After many Calm Minds, we finally decide to go for Shockwave and get a one-hit KO on Celio. Next is Glaily, which unfortunately perks up a light screen, prolonging the fight. But after all our Calm Minds, we're able to eventually overpower it to get the victory. Another Glaily is up next, and this time we try strategy of using Attract to save us from taking as much damage in battle. It doesn't work as perfectly as I was hoping for, but still prevents it from attacking once, allowing us to finish it off with Shockwave. She sends out another Celio, but we're able to take it down with a single Shockwave. Last is Walrein. It's pretty bulky, but after all our Calm Minds, it too falls to a single Shockwave. The last Elite Four battle before the champion is Drake. He leaves with Shogun, but we begin our Calm Mind strategy with Eos. Luckily, we have plenty of time to fully power up, and then start laying waste to his team. Shogun goes down to a single Psychic, then he sends out Flygon. After healing up, we're able to OHKO Flygon as well. The same goes for his Salamence. Altaria is a little scary, as it begins using Dragon Dance, and is able to survive a single Shockwave. However, we're able to get off a second Shockwave to finish it. Last is Kendra, who also survives the first Shockwave. Then Drake tries to heal it up, but we're able to hit several more Shockwaves, eventually winning us the battle. With that victory, the Elite Four are taken care of. We just have one more battle to go against the champion Wallace. And I think our Calm Mind strategy will likely carry us here as well. Let's see if we can do this. Wallace leaves with Wailord, so we begin charging up with Calm Mind until we're strong enough to attack. Wailord's double edge is scary, so we decide to take it out only after a few Calm Minds, but it goes down easy to Shockwave. Next is Tentacruel. After healing up a little, we go for a Psychic and are able to OHKO it without issue. Ludicolo might be a little bit harder, so we choose to get some more Calm Minds in. It almost takes us down with a critical hit Surf, but we're able to heal up and keep using Calm Mind. Once we feel we're strong enough, we hit it hard with Psychic for a one-hit KO. Whiscash is up next, and a 2 falls to a single Psychic. He then sends out Gyarados, but since it's 4 times weak to Electric, we can easily take it out with Shockwave. Last is Milotic, and it misses Toxic, which allows us to hit a super effective Shockwave. However, it survives, allowing Wallace to use a full restore. But we're able to go for another Shockwave, this time taking it out in one hit, winning us the match and defeating the champion. And there you have it. We've beaten the game and become the Pokemon League champion. That was a really fun playthrough. Maybe in the future I'll do some post-game stuff, but for now we're going to wrap it up. I don't think I would have been able to win if not for Eos. The combination of Calm Mind plus Shockwave and Psychic was really powerful. I remember as a kid, I never liked non-attacking moves, and usually created movesets of all offensive attacks. But in my older age, I've gotten better at keeping moves like Calm Mind, which, when used correctly, can really turn the tide of battle. Well, I think I'm going to wrap things up for now. I'd like to thank everyone for watching and indulging me in this little experiment. This style of video is new to me, and while my original intention was to finish the playthrough faster and upload it as a single edited video, it doesn't feel like I saved much time during this process. I've been working on this video for probably about 14 days, which includes playing and finishing the game, writing the script, recording the audio, and editing it all together. But I think I've learned a lot during the process, and it was a fun departure from how I typically record and upload gameplay. So, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe, and I will see you next time. Bye.